ask her how she get it. Made a couple racks, I never asked her how she get it. City girls love to have fun in the city. City girls love to have fun in the city. City girls love to have fun in the city. City girls love to have fun in the city.
Welcome to episode 4 of Connect with Christina. And across from me is the very beautiful Debbie with PTCARE Physical Therapy. Say hi.
Hi, thanks for having me.
The nice thing is most of the people that are going to be watching this, and there'll be more kind people out there that want to see what we're up to, are people you already know, people that love you. So, you just saw Dr. Mike leave.
Right.
Which today I was complaining about my outfit because I'm like, oh no, I forgot to change my outfit. So you're going to be the episode with the same outfit, but at least it's nice, right? So it's okay.
Gorgeous.
So
loving it.
I know you're well loved in our industry already. So, but this is an opportunity for me to share all the other stuff people don't know about how awesome you really are.
Right,
so
right.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
First of all, let's talk about how we met. Let me hear your version. How did we
My
meet?
version?
Yes.
So Lerner and Rose golf tournament.
Was that 2 years ago?
It was 2 years ago.
Okay.
I think I went to say hi to Dr. Mike and George, and George introduced you as the best marketer out there.
Right.
So of course I got a little jealous.
And you're like, wait a minute, how about me?
I was like, who? And that's kind of how we met. That was my side of the story.
And that's where the twin part came.
Yes.
Because then George retracted and it's like, okay, the two.
Yeah,
best. You're basically twins, he said.
Right.
So that's
right.
where you're the Asian, I'm the Asian, and you're the white, but we're twins, right?
Yeah, but we're hard workers and we're
Right.
hustlers,
Yeah.
and there's not a lot of them out there.
And my phone says that. It says,
Does it really?
Debbie with your last name, which I always have a hard time saying. Vigilante.
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 Like the superhero.
That's such a good name. That is
Yeah.
such a good name. You need to do something with that.
Right.
Anyway, but then it says twin with the emoji on
That's
it.
funny.
So,
That's
yeah.
funny. So
I want to kind of share your story too. So I know we share the same industry, so we're in personal injury together. Mm-hmm. I'm really the newest, I think, one of the babies, because I've been in it for this April marks 6 years.
okay.
But you've been in it for a while longer.
I want to say 7 or 8 years. So
Okay, so
not
not
too
okay.
much longer than you.
But how did you get
So-
started in it?
So I got started after I was divorced. I wanted to go back to college because I want to show my kids, like, hey, I can finish. So I had my children really young.
How old?
I was in my 20s.
Okay.
So I went back to college, 4 years, night school, worked 2 jobs. And then after I finished college, I told myself whoever I talked to, I was going to let them know I was looking for work. So I went to the Open and I met a Dr. Hunter there. And he said that another doctor was looking for somebody to do marketing for personal injury. So at that time, I was a personal trainer. I worked for a window film company, and then I also worked for a doctor. So I would do a bunch of part-time work. It was not easy, and it took a really long time. And I still to this day remember the very first attorney I met.
Who was that?
Bruce Heyman.
Okay.
And he was very, very nice to me. He let me set up a lunch, and I just it took me about a year to really learn about what personal injury was and, what we had to offer. And at that time, I was just doing chiropractic care. But it takes a long time to get in our network. You can't just walk in the door and go, hey, I'm here.
Right.
You have to gain people's trust. People have to respect you. They have to want to work with you.
Right. You can't force any of that.
You can't force. And it takes people with good personalities. We talk about that all the time, caring, for people to work with you and trust you. A real person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's like, because not everyone's for everyone, and that's okay.
Right.
We just have to be ourselves, and then the people that love us,
Right.
And then the people that don't can just sit and watch.
Right, yeah, right. And I worked for a chiropractor, and it was tough. It was really tough because there's a lot of chiropractors out there. So the competition was really, really tough.
Well, I know from just, getting to know you now, I know that you are a hustler. I know that. I know you work, you take your family seriously. I mean, your kids, I see you running around all over the place. Yep. So I kind of want to dive a little deeper on why you're the way you are, because you literally will, if you want to do something, you plan it out, you get it done.
Yeah.
So you said you worked in high school, or no, you were doing 2 jobs. When was this again?
So this was after my divorce.
Okay, so you're divorced.
Yeah.
What were the 2 jobs?
So I worked for a window film company part-time, and I was a personal trainer.
Okay. For who?
For myself.
What?
Yeah. So I would train people at the gym, and then I would teach a class called Tabata. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes.
Like high intensity workouts.
I can never pronounce it.
Yeah.
But yes.
So it was a really intense workout.
Is that
for
like where
45 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you ever seen Billy Blanks?
No.
So it's kind of what he does. It's like high intensity for 45 seconds, and then you get like 30 seconds to rest.
I didn't know you were a personal trainer.
Yeah.
And I always tell you, I'm like, I just want your arms, Debbie.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
want your arms. I want the little definition. Because when this girl stands, she just has, like, you don't have to flex. It's just there.
Right. Well, I
So-
did figure competitions.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so I told you that I did bodybuilding for a couple
I
years.
thought you were joking.
Yeah, no. After I had my children
Okay,
in college, I
need to
did
see
all
pictures.
that. Yeah.
Because we're going to pop
Yep.
it up on this episode.
Okay, yeah,
Justin, we're
definitely.
going to pop that
Yeah.
up. Like, what?
Yep.
Congrats.
Yeah.
You know, my friends are, like, Jay Dang owns 5-Star Fitness.
Okay.
Anyway, in getting to know him and being friends with him, I got a little look into that industry, or
Right.
or that's whatever, do you call it, a sport, or that space? Anyway,
Yeah.
these
It's a
people
sport.
are like, I mean, it is the way, it's a lifestyle.
Yep.
You can't, I mean, I'm like, what are you eating? Lettuce? And so it takes out, my point is, it's a lot of discipline.
It's very disciplined.
So is that, and then in high school, what type of work did you have?
I worked for the bank, Wells Fargo,
Okay.
for a really long time. So I started off as a teller, went to banking, personal banking, mortgages, all that.
Wow.
So
And then you obviously, you love what we do. So now
Yes.
you have your own thing. Congratulations on that too. But walk me through that a little bit. Like, how did you end? I mean, so you started marketing, and at what point were you able to establish your own? That's not easy to do.
it's not easy, and it took, I would say, over a year and a half to plan it, because you can't just run out there and do it. So I worked for a lot of chiropractors, and I worked with the attorneys, and if a client missed an appointment, we would have to call the client, call the attorney, call the doctor, and find out why they couldn't make it to their appointment, because we obviously want to get them better. If they show up once a week, that's not going to help. They need 2-3 times a week for treatment to get better. So I would listen to their stories, and it was because they were busy. It was because the hours didn't work for them. They were busy. They were in a car accident. They didn't have a car. They were a single mom. They were working their butt off, and I could relate to that. If you told
Right.
me, go see a chiropractor 3 days a week, go see a physical therapist 3 days a week at an office that had strict hours, I don't know if I could do it. Something you get with the kids. Something
It's
always
true.
comes up with the kids.
Yeah.
So
And that's a real situation.
Yes, all day long. So I put together a mobile physical therapy company where we go out to their home, and we go after hours, we go on the weekends, we just make it very convenient for them.
Right. And that's basically because you could relate. That's
Yep.
like the entire premise of this, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, because I know when COVID happened, you saved us
Yeah,
a lot.
I did.
Because you deployed, a bunch of the, for us, our clients, that was the issue. You couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah, they were
And then
scared.
Oregon
I
was
don't blame
scared.
them. They didn't want to
Right.
go to an office that had, a bunch
Mm-hmm.
of patients in and out of there. They could have one therapist go out to their home, one-on-one treatment with a mask. They clean off their table, they clean all their exercise equipment, and then they leave.
How was that for you during COVID? Like, what did you notice? Like a spike in your?
Yes.
Okay.
I did. And, I kind of reached out to all my, the chiropractors and other offices and said, hey, let me help you. When this is over, well, they can go back to the offices.
Right.
But that way there's not a, gap in care. They can still treat, whether they do it on telemedicine or we come to them, let us help you out.
Right. And I mean, it was like, what, a year of that sort
Yeah.
of, right?
Yep.
So, and again, I'm still learning a lot of this stuff, but like even with my patient or my clients, I notice like we get them better faster when we do both.
Yes.
Do you think that that's like, is that a fair statement?
Yeah, I think it's fair.
I mean, I know it's based
I think
on
that
how their
best care
injuries
is
are,
chiropractic and physical therapy. And we do that all day long.
Why do you think that?
I just
I
think
noticed
it's,
it, but why do you think it?
I think it's just a different kind of treatment. You know, chiropractic care is more cracking and more spine, and, you know, where physical therapy is more muscle, soft tissue. So they just work really well together.
Right. Yeah, because
So-
I remember a client of ours where the minute we did a combo, he was like, he called the office and was like, hey, just want to tell you, you know, thank you. I'm finally starting to feel better. So I think that's important too, because I think people think they are stuck. Like you only have to do chiro or
Right.
you only have to
Right.
do PT when in fact they work hand in hand together.
Right. And we give them home exercise programs. So they're actually strengthening their muscles. So after their car accident, after their injuries, if they have a flare up, they know what to do. So they have the exercise equipment. We leave it with them. So they have the Bosu balls, they have the bands, they have everything that they would need for that injury. So if it does flare up, they knew what stretches to do, what exercises to do.
So more long term
yeah,
too.
long term.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
apologize.
I know,
'cause
that's okay. That's why I love
awesome.
that we're doing this, because people are like, oh, really? Like you
I didn't
bring
know.
it out to them? People think that it's a van that pulls up. And I'm like, no, it's not a van. We have a table that we bring inside, and then we do their stretches. We do all their exercises. We show them, and when they're discharged, they know how to continue treatment.
I didn't know that that's how that was done. I didn't know you left equipment either.
Yep.
Or that you had
So they get to
any.
keep TENS units. They get to keep bands. They get to keep Bosu ball. I mean, it's very reasonable to get that stuff.
Right.
So why not have them keep it?
Well, so basically, other than it being more convenient, more like
Yeah.
people, I know, like you said, especially
Yeah.
when you're like running around and you're hurting and you have to go to you tend to your kids.
Right, right.
So what do you see as like the most common situation for you, like that really need the most common type of patients that you see, like single moms?
I want to say everybody working a job 8 to 5.
That makes sense.
You know, it's a lot. I've had 2 back surgeries, and I was scheduled with a physical therapist. And I thought because I worked out that I knew what I was doing, I would do it at home.
Right.
But I didn't have any of the exercise equipment. So I didn't really do my treatment that I should have done. And those exercises really strengthen the muscles that have been weakened from accidents or from surgeries.
Right.
So you have to continue to do those.
Right. Well, and I've been talking about this lately a lot about how I think by nature people are resilient, you know, and we're good natured.
Yeah.
So when people are in a car accident, they don't automatically say like they think they're fine, but
Yeah.
you can't see inside your body. So so I've been teaching people like, hey, you only have one.
Yeah.
Take good care of it.
Yep.
And also the hiring a personal injury aspect, they don't automatically think that, and that's
Yeah.
why I think it's up to us to educate and help people out that and what we're the good guys in this situation.
Yeah,
Like
we're
here
helping
to help
you.
So with the PT care that you provide, like say a soft tissue accident, like what type of workup do you do with those?
So how it
Typically.
works is we have a physical therapist that comes out and they do an evaluation. So they're going to ask them all the questions on what happened in the accident, what did you do after the accident, have you been to a medical provider, have you got MRIs, and what they do is they put a program together for that patient for 12 weeks. And what I like to do, it's overseen by a medical doctor that's going to be on our team and kind of review everything. After 12 weeks, if we don't see improvements, we will send them back to an MD, and that MD will either refer out for epidurals if necessary. Maybe they need more PT. Maybe they need more massage therapy. But everybody's treated differently. Every injury is going to be different.
Right.
So
Go ahead.
I case manage every single case that comes my way.
That was actually my
Yeah.
question. Is that how do you personalize this like service? Because I know you're busy.
Yeah.
So are you very like involved in the care yourself still?
I am.
Okay.
I am. So I have a great team of physical therapists, massage therapists, And they all provide reports once a week to let me know how every single patient's doing.
Wow.
And once a week, I review those.
Okay.
So if there are any issues or if I need to reach out to a medical doctor, I will at that time.
And that helps us out too on the PI side as far as the attorney side, because, you know, these people are stressed out. They are, and sometimes, I mean, it's life-changing, as you know. And so it's important to us to like make sure that the medical providers that we're working with are also taking care of them on that side. You know,
We are a reflection of you.
Yeah. So
So you sent your client to us, and we need to make you look like a rock star.
yeah.
And I really care about our clients and our patients, and I want them to get better, and I want them to know I'm here to make your life easier.
Right.
You
And
know?
you know, we've had a client actually. Of course, I'll leave his name out, but we sent him to you, and he was so impressed that unfortunately he got in another accident, but he had requested,
Yeah.
you know, and that's where that whole, because you had a name switch.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so he was trying to find it. So, I mean, obviously that speaks volumes and I think that's true in anything. Like if you take care of people,
We get great reviews.
they'll remember.
And I hear stories and it makes me cry. You know, it's very emotional for me because I created this, and to have my therapist and to have patients come to me and go, your therapist was amazing. Your therapist brought me groceries because I didn't have a car and nobody would help me out.
Wow.
Stories like that
Right.
it's very emotional for me, and I take pride in that.
Well, I want to hear about that. What's like, you know, I know you have a lot of stories because you've helped a lot of people.
Yeah.
But like share a couple of like your favorite ones that you think.
So we get very complex cases, and we get very soft tissue case. You know, everything comes in different. But we had a lady that was 75 years old, and she had nobody out here. And she got in a car accident, and that was her form of transportation. That's how she got to the grocery store. That's how she got her meds. And she didn't have a car. She couldn't go anywhere. So our therapist went out, did the evaluation, did a treatment. And on the third visit, she said, I don't have any groceries. It was the middle of summer. It was
Oh my
115,
gosh.
and she lived in an apartment, and she went knocking on people's doors, and nobody would help her. I know, it gives me chills. She had to walk to wall, you know, so my therapist brought her groceries. So stuff like that is very,
Right.
I love to hear stories like that.
I was going to say thank you for doing that, because it's those things that all of us do collectively that make a difference, you know, and like a lot of things are done, no one knows it, and that's fine, you know, but the fact that I know you're out there, your people are out there doing that, that's what I love to hear, because it takes like a village, you know, to
It
help
does. It
people out.
does.
And one day we'll be 75.
I know.
You know, and you made me think of something too. I feel like because you're in the setting of you're inside their home, I feel like it's different than going to an office. Therefore, I think they let you in what their real life situation is. I feel that must be different for you.
It's
correct?
very different. It's one-on-one treatment. If they were to go to any other office, it would be, you know, you have a physical therapist, and that therapist is treating 5 or 6 other patients.
Right.
With us, like you said, it's one-on-one in their home.
Yeah.
So we're in their living room. They're, you know, you're talking. So you're almost like their therapist too, where you hear
Right.
everything. You
Right.
know, what's going on in your life? How has
Yeah.
this affected you?
Yeah.
So we're,
And for your therapist to like take that initiative and bring the grocery, that's that level of going above and beyond.
Yeah.
You know. So I mean, I want to commend you for that, because if that's happening,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
it's
you know.
huge.
So, well, I want to ask too, how long is that treatment? I know it depends on like the type of care, but typically, how long are
It's
they?
45
in there?
minutes to an hour,
Okay.
depending on their injuries. You know, there's so much that we do. People think because it's in home that there's not much to do, and there's so much to do, from soft tissue to massage to vestibular. We do a lot of concussion work that people weren't aware of. So we do physical therapy for the brain, which
I
not
think
a lot
I
of
just
people are
recently
doing.
learned that about you too. I
Yeah,
didn't know.
so I've been trying to spread the word, because right now, when these patients are in a car accident and they go to a medical doctor, a lot of them aren't diagnosing concussions.
Right.
Or if they are, they're sending to neuro, which could be a month before anything happens. So there's no treatment for that.
When did you start that?
So we've always done that.
Okay. I didn't
So,
know.
yeah. No, that's okay. So we're trying to market it more so
Right.
Attorneys and doctors know. Because anyone in any kind of car accident, anything with whiplash, typically can give you a concussion and you don't even know it.
And it does take a long time to get in with some of the clinics. So I think that if that's part of your program, that's huge.
And even if they do, they're just going to give them medicine. They're not going to do any kind of therapy.
And that's true as well, because I'm like, I've been on this kick of trying the last 2 years, I've been really going hard on educating people on, please go to the emergency room.
Right.
I don't care if you think you're great, because people are resilient. If you think if you think there's nothing wrong with you, just go.
Yeah.
And if you wait for 5 hours, I don't even care if it's 8. If you walk out of there and they said that there's no broken bone and there's no bleeding, I'm glad. But guess what? You still have to go to the other doctors that actually handle motor vehicle accidents.
Yes.
Because your regular doctor is not going to know what to look for.
Nope. They're going to give them Motrin and send them home.
Right. And so, and what happens, because now I'm learning so much, is that these people develop issues later that it's too late.
It's too late. They can do nothing. And especially when it comes to a concussion, they don't know. When your brain is injured, it doesn't tell you like your body.
Right.
There's signs that you need to look for. And there's
some
only
people
special
live alone.
doctors. Yeah, they live
So-
alone. They don't know.
Right.
But if they see a doctor that specializes in concussions, they know what questions to ask.
Right. Well, and even when I do some of the intake work and I'm talking to my clients or potential clients, it took me a while to understand,
Yeah.
and I'm not a doctor and I have to disclose, I'm not a doctor. I can't diagnose you, but I've learned when they have that TBI,
Yeah.
they don't know they have it.
No, they
So
don't.
no, I'm talking to someone, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you want to help them out. And then sometimes it'll be a couple and then the husband will be like calling me back and
Yeah.
saying, hey, my wife's not been the same.
Yep, there's so
But
many
how
signs
about those people that are alone?
Yeah, what do you do?
And then in some situations, it's like you're trying to help them, but they're going through it. So they're not recognizing. They're not, you know what I mean? So
And with the attorneys, they're talking to them once a month, twice a month?
once.
So
every
we
3
are in their
weeks.
home 3 days a week.
Right.
So we are going to notice things like that.
Yeah.
So
That's a good point.
Yeah, we're going to note, are you forgetful? Are you nauseous? Are you dizzy? All those things that they could think it's because of something else.
And you
Are you
put all of that
depressed?
in your reporting, right?
We do. Our notes for personal injury are very detailed.
I want to ask you something, and I know we're probably going to run out of time because you and I can talk for
I know,
months.
we could talk for a long time.
But how, because I know, like, you've expressed to me your passion for
Mm-hmm.
this field. Why? I know my why, but what's yours?
I really care about people, and I've had 2 back surgeries, and I know the pain that they're going through, and it's not easy, and we're busy, and we find every excuse not to take care of ourselves.
Right.
Because I've
Isn't
done
that
it myself.
truth?
Yeah. And I've learned the hard way that if you don't do your exercises and you don't take care of your body, you don't have too much longer before it really kicks in and you're in a lot of pain. So I want people to get the help that they need right away.
Right.
And if that means educating them so they have a home exercise program so after their accidents they can get better.
I really like that part.
Yeah, I feel better about myself. I do physical therapy twice a week. And if I don't, I literally can't walk very well.
So you're telling me I need to see for my knee.
So when you say that, like my heart goes, I want to help her. I want her to feel better.
Because I want to keep wearing my heels, you guys.
I know. That was the one thing the doctor was like, stop wearing heels. And I was like, I'll do PT.
And even our industry too, because like a lot of our people are so caring for others.
Yes.
That now I'm becoming this ambassador for, hey, don't forget to take care of yourself too.
Yep.
Like a house cleaner. They clean everyone's homes.
Yep.
They don't clean theirs because they're so
know.
busy. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like
Well, a lot of our providers too.
yeah.
I'm always like, hey, let's send massage therapy out there. Let me help you.
Right.
You know, because we all
So
work
you
very,
you
very
can
hard.
share that message with me, because like
Yeah.
being in this industry together, like you become friends
Mm-hmm.
with people. You really just end up caring about them. And sometimes I find myself with messages like, "Don't forget to eat, doc."
Yeah.
You
Yes.
know,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like they, or even some of the attorneys that we work with too. Like I feel like we're one big family.
We're a big family. And I think
So-
that's when you ask, like, why do you, I love my family. I love this.
Right.
You know, we're all here to help each other out.
Yeah.
And when I went out on my own, I really was like, wow, people are supporting me like
Mm-hmm.
crazy. And I love that. It made me feel really good about myself.
Right. Yeah. Do you
So-
see yourself like just doing this for until you retire?
Yeah. Yes.
Too.
I know. I love this. It's fun. To me, this isn't
too.
work.
Right. It's
You know,
true. It's like real
fun.
people.
It's real people. It's helping people.
Yeah.
It's doing what you love. So,
Well, I want to talk about like your other love, which is your kids.
Yes.
So tell me about them.
so my daughter's 19 and my son is 13.
She's so cute.
I
She's
know.
your little twin.
I know. She's so cute. So I had her when I was young, like I said, in my 20s. And she's just amazing. She's going to ASU right now.
I'll forgive that.
I know.
Bear down.
She wants to be a doctor. So she just always has her.
She will, too.
Yeah, she's
That's
always
what
in a
she
book.
wants.
And
She's
I
like her
love
mama.
that. I love that. I'm so proud of her.
And then your handsome boy.
Yeah, he's a baseball player. So he just had shoulder surgery and recovering. He's got 5 more weeks of PT, and then he'll be out on the field again.
My daughter just had ACL surgery. She's a basketball player.
It's hard to see them injured at that age. It
Oh
was
no,
hard.
it was difficult because it's Layla, and when you hear your child tell you, Mom, I do everything right. Why me?
Why? Yeah.
Why now? Because she's an incoming senior,
Yeah.
so she had ACL surgery. She's doing physical therapy right now, twice a week, Tuesday, Thursdays. But it's kind of showing me a personal way of looking into physical therapy, because she'll tell me like how she loves the therapist.
Yeah. Yep.
She's like, Mom, she believes in me and she pushes me. Like this whole interaction that I'm like, okay, you go there, they do
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But she takes it home.
Yep.
Like we're talking about giving this therapist like a whole thank you basket, because she's made an impression on Layla.
Yeah.
So I think that goes for you with your physical therapist, and how they are going into these people's homes and really creating their own relationship while they're trying to get them better.
Well, they've been through a lot and they're in pain.
Yeah.
You know, when you're in pain, what do you want to do?
Right.
Nothing. What's the worst thing you can do for your body?
I mean, you
Nothing.
could Netflix and chill.
I know.
But, I'm just
But when it
kidding.
comes to physical therapy, you have to move your body. My father's 75 years old. He does physical therapy twice a week for his heart. He has heart failure, and he needs to get the blood
What?
flowing
So
through
it's
his
connected.
It's connected.
There you go,
I have a
Justin.
therapist come out.
There you go.
And it helps him. Helps the strengthening of the heart. It helps the blood flowing through his body. So it's physical therapy is for everyone. That's why I love what I do.
I like that. I have so
Yeah.
many takeaway from this episode.
It's for
right
children.
now.
It's for adult. Elderly. It's for everyone. With your daughter, she is now going to learn, because of her physical therapist, this is what I need to do for the rest of my life if I'm injured,
Right.
instead of just ignoring it because, hey, we're young and we heal, right? It's not always the case, especially when they're an athlete.
It's just so funny that there's so much we don't. We only know what we
I know.
and it's sometimes it's like you have to go through it to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Because even sometimes when we talk about it, it's like surface level.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, you're chit chatting, and then you go through it and you're like, oh, that's what Debbie said.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what it is. So you talked about your dad.
Yep.
I want to recognize you for that, because every time I talk to you, you always bring him up.
Yeah.
I understand you said 75.
Yeah.
So you also take care of him then, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah,
you're-
so family's
you're daddy's
huge.
little
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah, family's huge to me.
Yeah.
So he's always been my biggest supporter. And it's been over the last year that I was like, wow, what I do for a living can help him, possibly save his life.
Right.
You
And
know?
in COVID, you were so protective.
That man wasn't going anywhere.
Right. No, I know. And
so-
you wanted to protect him with
Right.
everything.
When people were asking me,
So-
why you went? It's my fault. I take care of him, and because I care about other people.
Right.
So
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad you got to come here today, because
thank you for having me.
Yes, I think there's so much that even as much as we spent time together,
Yeah.
you taught me a lot today.
Yeah.
And even Justin and I were talking about heart stuff earlier. So
Yeah.
if physical therapy helps that, sign us up.
For sure.
So
Yeah, definitely.
So guys, for PT, mobile PT, there's your beautiful girl right here. So by the way, we have a present for you.
Oh, thank you.
So please open it. It's from Bella Pella. Courtney
Okay.
is from New York, and she started her own scrub line, a body scrub line.
Oh,
So
look at that. Body
she told
scrub.
me it's 5 ingredients or less.
Oh,
So
wow.
enjoy it. Tell us how you like it.
I definitely will. Thank you so
So-
much.
This is episode 4 of Connect with Christina. So Debbie with PT Care, thank you for taking time out of your day. So again, thanks for being here at Connect with Christina.
AKA the Clout God.
Bye!
Never ask her how she get it. Made a couple racks, I never asked her how she get it.